Commander, I've been thinking. Can I bend your ear a moment? Been doing some thinking about what happened in the lab. I went there to kill that man for what he did to Ortiz, and instead, let him walk away with his research. I know you never liked dealing with Auntie's choice. Seems you're right not to. But I still think we got a real shot here of making things better. Auntie's choice can't be trusted on their own with this research, that's clear. But if someone like me were to guide them, maybe they can be shaped into what I thought they were. If they could actually help folk like they claimed they would when they liberated Tau Ceti, it'd make life better for anyone. Elsewise, there'll only be more victims in their wake. No, Commander. I wouldn't let that happen. But if I stand back and let this work pass me by, that will surely be the outcome. Ortiz sent me a message because he knew I would take action, that I'd remedy the betrayal both of us faced. If he were here now, he'd understand, I think. Are you with me? Thanks, Commander. Maybe this is what folk mean by the architects setting things in motion. If I hadn't broken my contract, I wouldn't be here. Maybe proving myself was never the intention. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. Let's just see what Willard's got to say, all right?
Tramicular, arriving any moment now.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of unavoidable embedded chemicals. Auntie's choice.
Well, if it isn't our favorite contractor.
And all no-getters on my payroll. It's time to recognize the downwardly mobile with my latest emotions report.
The Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's choice devious shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's Darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacer's Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, 6th base person for the Anti-Cleo's Darlings. I cleaved Spacer's Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game. Whenever I see that Moon Man's grinning face, I want to cleave it in twain. Auntie's choice! Darlings! We won! Hostile takeover this! Right back at you!
I'm Auntie Cleo, and I endorse this message. Attention valued employees. Auntie here to brighten your workday with a report on just how much money your toil is netting us. It's time for profit forecast time, starting with product development, the borscht loaf and butter of our entire operation. Thanks to our marketing wizards selling the sizzle of incremental product improvements, sales of new...
You cannot be here. My contract stipulates that this lab door remains locked at all times. I am not to be disturbed. That's funny, considering the heaps of times I've been called such.
Where top lab coats are doing...
Oh, yes! Aren't they beautiful? It is a shame, for my research calls for me to test the limits of their resilience through burning, slashing, and bludgeons with hammers.
That ain't right. Not even a bit. I swear, once I've got your boss on my side and we get this program reworked, you won't have to do anything like this again.
Oh, no. No, I don't want change. I love my work. I love this place. The smell of copper, the texture of viscera. There's nothing like it.
So am I. My gut's roiling something fierce.
Why this art's beauty is lost on so many folk I'll never understand. Anyhow, I've much work to do. Please ensure the door is locked when you leave.
Positive bit flow. Our portfolio is diversified, but we can always do better. I'll give it to you straight in my quarterly underperformance review. First up, excessive corporate malfeasance. The only division that earns us less when they work more. Ease off the throttle, gang. Won't be any malfeasance if you don't look for it. Next is assertive arbitration. Quite the bit pit. Down 14% in net gross. You're supposed to squeeze blood from every contract. Put us in the red. Xenobiological exploitation's output is down 18%. I'm not paying professional hunters to run a petting zoo.
It's high time one of you scientist types responded to my calling cards. The position's been open for more than 2 days, and already productivity is tanked by 149.4%. You want the role, it's yours, but I'm not budging on those hourly rates.
Let me guess. You're backfilling Rasmussen's position? Or all the scientists who work with him on Cloister lying cold on the lab floor?
Both, obviously. Unless you mean to tell me a graft like yours can install itself. Now, do you want the job or not? We're burning starlight. It's no mystery. Soon as an employee is reported missing, dead, or out sick 2 hours in a row, their name is read aloud in the daily demotions report.
The one delivered by Auntie? Everyone tunes into that. Most folk would do anything to have their names spoken by her.
Not in this context. Maybe someday we can bottle that kind of schadenfreude and sell it at a premium.
Look, we found your lab on Cloister. A friend of mine who succumbed to his graft sent me there to put an end to your work. It was damn troubling. But after speaking with your doc, I came to see that the program's got much potential. If we shift focus, reform our work, grafts could better the lives for all folk. Rasmussen's now with Doc Tinsley in Fairfield, and they're ready to restart this work if we can get your agreement. No more killing, much more progress. What do you say?
I see someone failed out of the anti-Cleo School of Persuasion. Why would I ever pursue something so dull as reform? How does it serve me? You certainly came to the negotiating table prepared, but there is one small fly in the soup. Who exactly are you to dictate to me what we should be doing? I did not even know your name before you stepped through this door.
When I joined up in Taucetti, I was promised that if I proved myself, demonstrated exceptionalism, the moment would come where I could make a pitch for my own future. I ensured the safety of the delegates at the peace talks. I helped hunt down the fiend who destroyed our base on Golden Ridge. So yeah, I'd say the moment I'm owed has arrived.
Fine. Perhaps there is an opportunity here to expand our user base. But we can only pursue such a thing if we secure the funding. I could approach my business partner to this end, but I will require proof that this little reformation of yours is a viable investment. As such, you need to prove that a grafted trooper can achieve what the average one cannot.
You say that as though you have something in mind.
I do. The commander of our fortified position on Praetor has been chomping at the bit for a show of force, to rally the troops in our market share, so to speak. He will have all the minute details, of course, but assisting him and demonstrating your prowess will give us the leverage we need. Is this one having a laugh? Of course it'll be dangerous. Were it not, we would have dragged some poor bottom-runger bastard in to get the job done by now. Law knows there's enough to choose from. This here is a golden cysty pig of an opportunity. One that will reap rewards far beyond the buying price, consistently, every time we are hungry for a victory. It's a wonder you know the direction in which to point your weapon. Am I glad you aren't going into the battle alone? And I'm certain it'll be no issue. What with our grafted star tearing through the battlefield, leaving blood and terror in her wake.
Grafted soldiers aren't animals. I should think an executive of your stature would have an understanding of such.
Of course I do. But you cut quite the imposing figure. We'd be fools not to play it up so folk acquire full understanding of your advantages. Much like a sprat cowering rightfully in the jaws of a raptidon does.
They only have that understanding if they also have sense. Most sprats don't. They wander happily to their deaths in search of the smallest, richest morsels.
Yes, well done keeping up. Do you accept the mission or don't you? I could tell you possessed a modicum of business sense. Head to Praetor. I'll send a reporter with camera drones to meet you there and debrief with our ground forces.
Hold on. You didn't say anything about this being filmed.
Heroism is nothing without exciting footage and a talking head to sell it to the masses. So do make sure you put on a good show. Off you go then.
You fight what nature inflicts to offer higher quality pharmaceuticals designed to be better than nature, because nature wants to kill you. Since then, our company has grown, evolved, consumed the first of many rivals. But that original goal remains one of our goals. Yes, now we strive to spread unfettered free trade and self-betterment throughout the galaxy, but we do so knowing you persist, well fortified by our products. So strive, thrive, survive, arrive, armed with Auntie's choice. Trust your Auntie. Limber up for a motivating lecture, employees. Just because your Auntie Cleo reached the top...
We market the most miscellaneous miscellany on the ACS Undisputed Claim. Feast your eyes on this motley conglomeration of goods.
Tossball, a game of inches and foot goals played with an excess of necessary roughness. And like Tossball...
Purpleberry product samples! Purpleberry product samples!
While I was just watching the latest bout between the easy-heel loafers and the zero-G shooters, just quality cleaving from hop-off to the closing steam whistle and that 20-back tackle pilot of the tender in the mid-court restricted zone. I was on the edge of my luxury cysty-hide spectation lounger. Not to mention the concession sales. Invasive marketing hucked it out of the arena with their official Auntie's Choice branded Sprat Crisp penalty buckets. But I digress. Just as in Tossball, we all need to put on our winger face. Go the extra even zone. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, this is about what I expected.
Wednesday zone. Although it is that too. Sometimes you can't score a body goal without an offsides huck. Play by the rules or play to win. You can't do both. Feeling motivated? Certainly you are. Now, step up to the line of scrummage and let's bludgeon the competition. See you at center field. We took what nature heedlessly assembled and vastly rebettered it through art artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle. Enjoy an artificially enhanced existence through...
That reporter's gotta be nearby. Ain't keen to jump to conclusions, but I think I got a notion of what we're doing here.
I'm Orland Crawford, the outsourced but never outmatched wartime correspondent for the ACS Undisputed Claim. You must be the grafted soldier, here to show us all what you can do.
The name's Inez, and yes, Willard Conan sent me to help you with some sort of... I don't know what, exactly.
Now, let's not skip on introductions. Who is this you have with you?
You could say that the teacher has become a student of a cold, harsh world.
The soldier and the bookworm. Not the most compelling of partnerships, but it may work out.
Never seen a grafted trooper in action before, but I'm looking forward to watching you work. Your mission, trooper, is to capture the Protectorate blockade to the north. Their defenses are too great to face head-on, so you'll want to sneak in through the back entrance. We've obtained the entry codes, through great effort.
My camera drones will be filming the action from above, so do put on a good show. Blow up a few things, and use Inez's abilities to demonstrate the might of Auntie's Choice. Yes?
They've detained several of our scouts. I'd like to see them returned. If you deliver this weapons cache to them and free them, they might offer some aid in the fight.
This is quite the opportunity. Normally, a POW might be written off as shrinkage, an unfortunate, unavoidable loss. But their rescue will be worth far more in publicity.
So what? If I hadn't come along, you all would have left those troopers to rot.
Our motto is to leave no man behind, unless it breaches our contract and promises financial penalties, which this does. Now, take these codes for the back door and go.
Once you infiltrate the blockade, neutralize our foes, and open the gates, our remaining troops will move in to secure the blockade for ourselves. Any questions? The drilling crew near the chemical plant is working to punch a path through the mountains. You could use such a path, but for some reason, their job is taking longer than expected.
Or you could go through the automech production facility north of here. But that's where the scout who brought us the codes lost his life. So proceed with caution and a loaded gun.
Though I trust you may fare better than that poor sod did, I do look forward to seeing you take the fight to the Protectorate. It's about time Auntie gave him a good walloping. Ooh, and spare some time for me after you emerge victorious, won't you? What am I saying? Of course you will. Who wouldn't want to be interviewed for the wireless? Go on now.
Yeah.
Look alive. Torpificator at ready status. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Back in business.
Fat and scared. Analyzed. Lay down fire.
appreciate you handling our dirty work.
There's a new face. Any chance you've brung news from the commander? Can't restart the dig without his permission, and clock's ticking on my getting that early completion bonus. It's a puzzler, that's for sure. More likely than not, some kind of old protectorate infrastructure. Maybe sewage or a conveyor. Messy, but mostly harmless. Worst case, it's a uranium gas pipe, and further drilling will kill everyone here in seconds. It'd be hard to collect bits for making a tunnel with no workers to dig it first. Agreed. Wouldn't want to miss that juicy bonus. Not unless your lamps can see through solid rock and figure out what's on the far side. Goodbye, early completion bonus. You back to see more of the tunnel? I'll save you the trip. Not a pebble has budged. Same is true of our bit accounts, sadly. Pardon me, but you what? You just have a magic little device in your pocket that lets you detect enemy troops through 2 feet of solid rock? Well, ain't that something? Wait, that means they already dug half the tunnel for me. That bonus is still in reach. That don't change me needing to get the commander's go-ahead to restart the digging. What say you run yourself back to the base and get me the okay? Just down the road. Can't miss it.
I assume you've got something important to discuss, or a report to give. I don't have time to waste on idle jawing. Forgive my incredulity, but how did you get that information? I see. Quite a useful bit of technology. Our engineers determined this was the most geologically stable place to tunnel. The Protectorate likely did the same, and even stopped drilling for the same reason we did. I'll send orders to resume drilling immediately. We'll take them by surprise. Send them running, and I'll be one step closer to getting off this dirtball.
Human corporatists I can handle any standard day of the week. I'd prefer doing more research before engaging too many of those introduced reptiles of theirs, however.
Looks like we're about to have company of the unwanted kind. You've 5 seconds to make plain your intent before I let my boys here pitch some swill at you. Friend, huh? All the more reason you ought to turn a somersault and stroll on back the way you came. A chemical factory's no place for idle wanderings. The none of your business kind. Fine. Just don't come claiming damages after your first mishap. Here, you've access to the main floor, but mind yourself. There's a fair few hazards about the factory, and folks on the upper level aren't like to be as amenable as me about your visit.
Do these corporate drones aspire to nothing? So many died defending this poisonous slurry of commonplace molecular chain compounds.
Safari across the Arcadia system, helping everyone from lower management to members of the board tap into each planet's zoological equity. Every episode, I focus on a different species to tell you the risks.
Paying me enough to pick up after these dim bulbs. Just the other day, I had to warn one of them not to plumb an outlet with their own finger. Asked them why, and they just replied, it looked a little loose. Law. These scientist types might be bright, but they've got no practical smarts. Marvin! That puddle ain't water. No, that don't need touch it to find out what it is.
Second floor's off limits.
How do you eat Purpleberry Crunch? Real warriors eat it right from the box.
I thought I heard something down there. Maybe it's your twin of forced rockets.
For nigh upon 2 weeks, I have maintained my perch, delivering swift death to those corporate marauders who seek to capture this plant. But I am now, as I have been for days, without ammunition, without food, and increasingly, without hope of victory. My brethren have either fallen or been forced into ignominious retreat. I have not the means to descend, nor would I wish to so dishonor myself by abandoning my post. Back! Back! You... The sprats are growing bolder. I lack the strength now to catch even a one. Soon I suspect I will not be able to fend them off. If nothing else survives me, I hope this record at least will show that I serve the Protectorate with distinction to my last breath.
All right, that marks an hour since ingestion. Now, tell me, how do you feel? And remember, this is for user research, so please be honest.
Swear,
Everything around here's held together with not more than a wish and old adhesive.
It's a brawl!
Is that what I think it is? Might finally be time for some action.
Mighty glad that's over and done with. Just need to finish reinforcing the tunnel, and I can collect a big fat
I'll
bit
find
cartridge.
you. And when I do... Weapons at the ready. Moving to investigate.
Yeah! Here we are, about to kick the proverbial mantisaur nest. Hope you're ready for your close-up. Damn. Of course they got a bunker mech. We need to take it by surprise, without alerting the other troopers, mind.
Threat detected.
Leave us here. We still got 43 months of boot camp loans to pay off. Takes all sorts. Fake law. I thought we'd be trapped in here forever.
Hey, tell me you've got a plan to deal with these guys. Hey, we could use more go-getters like you.
On your feet, soldiers. You're free.
Hot damn! You're a real grafted trooper! Our crew at the border ain't gonna believe this. Sure wish I were authorized to hand out 3.7% discounts, because you just earned one, friend. Our hosts are still walking about, and it seems we're without our weapons. You ain't happen to bring any, did you? Oh, wonderful! Auntie always provides. Now, let's get out there and give those bastards the what for.
Prudence dictates imperfection is impossible when the mind is a thing of symmetry.
Yeah! Yeah!
Prudence dictates it is the duty of every protector and subject to ensure they are operating at peak efficiency at all times. individual. Prudence dictates we must trust our community. It's only then that we prevail. Cannot fight perfection.
Appreciate you handling our dirty work.
Many thanks for freeing us. Think I can maneuver my management position after this?
A predictable fate for the base individualist. Prudence dictates the protectorate subject to ensure they are operating at peak.
To die for the cause. Trouble.
Unfriendly nearby.
Unwarning search. I am on.
Looks like a fuck standing by to stupefy. I aftermarket parts are
Mobilization in progress. Mitigating the...
That's still recharging! The gravel truck! For the history books. Let's open the gate for that reporter and the troops before these bodies get cold.
It's a pro!
Weapons at the ready. Moving to investigate.
I weep for the bullets I must expend on these fools.
Close.
Bury them fast!
Over here! Let's have a word with the hero of the moment for the wireless. What a show! Auntie will be beside herself when she hears of her shiny new blockade. If you weren't already contracted with Willard, I'd think to hire you for the next news staging.
All in a day's work. You said something about an interview. Well, I got a lot riding on this. You'll make me look good, right?
It's audio only, Trooper. And you're working with a true professional now. Let me work, huh? Relax. Be authentically you, though you'd be wise to throw in a tagline or two. Ready?
Well,
Great! Recording's already begun. I'm here, live at the scene with the fearsome crafted soldier Inez. It's a shame you cannot see this, dear listener, for it is impressive indeed. Inez, your destruction of those dastardly protectorate troops was awe-inspiring. You must feel like the employee of the month, having brought such a decisive victory to Auntie's choice.
I'm just, doing my part. I joined up because I believed in our mission, to liberate Arcadia. Reckon my actions illustrate that more than anything I could ever say. Ah, suppose I do know a thing or two about a pep talk. Given many in my time to troopers suffering injury or boredom.
How wonderful! I hadn't realized Inez here had initiated a recruitment campaign. Truly a lesson to us all. Dear audience, the voice you just heard is that of the soldier's close associate and eyewitness to the battle and the marvelous carnage littering the land. You also freed some of our troopers from the Protectorate's fiendish grasp. One can only imagine the torture they suffered. Tell us about it, the rescue, in detail if you would.
Look, I did what anyone with an ounce of sense would do. Ain't gonna leave one of my own in such a state. And if I had it my way, I would have acted sooner. Yeah, that's exactly right. I plan on doing everything in my power to bring a swift end to this war, and keep as many civvies out of harm's way as possible.
A heartwarming sentiment, but not too swift an end to the war, I hope. It's good for business, as we all know. In any case, those soldiers can finally return to their postings again. Now, I've a question about your abilities, Inez. What sets a trooper like you apart from the rest?
These graphs make me stronger. Good in a bind. I know I'm a bit of a curiosity. Ain't too many of us left. But there is so much good we can do with grafting, if we try. I got a plan, see? To start the grafting program up again. The research is promising, and with the right backing, it could be a product that can better the lives of everyone.
A fascinating idea. I think we'd all sleep soundly if we knew more of you were running amok on our behalf. Before we wrap, have you anything else of note to tell our undoubtedly enraptured audience?
Oh, I got one. Ain't just a tested and true product that'll put you over the top. A graft like mine might also get you into orbit.
Ah, I see. A bit of cheeky product placement for zero-G whiskey. Very well done, you. And that's a wrap. You can go back to slouching or sneering or whatever else it is you do. I regularly forget that the common folk just aren't as effervescent as I am when in front of a microphone. Astonishingly well. Rest assured, our listeners will be glued to their radios for all the lurid details, and to hear more of my award-deserving reporting, naturally.
Well, that's a damn sight better than I was anticipating. Willard will have to make good on our deal now. Let's head back and speak with him.
You do that, and I will remain here, burdened by the drudgery of war. Farewell.
We took what nature heedlessly assembled and thusly rebettered it through artificial means. At Auntie's Choice, we strive to be 110% wholly plus artificial. Artificiality is our guiding principle, enjoying an artificially enhanced existence through the conspicuous consumption of
So the conquering heroes have returned from the blockade. And by the law, what footage! I have never been so thrilled and appalled by sheer brutality in all my days. You certainly know your way around a soon-to-be dead body, huh? Oh, where are my manners? Commander, Inez, meet our new benefactor. This is the business partner I spoke to you about, and she has graciously agreed to fund our new venture.
Yes, we've met. Now, let's not get overly ahead of ourselves. Excitement and carnage is one thing. That is, there are two things, but taken as a whole. Proving to be an advertising darling is quite another matter entirely.
Well, I'd say these two certainly made our correspondence job easier. Only Auntie herself could have done a finer job at providing sound bites.
Let's try not to exaggerate. It was a fine showing. Now, with her as the face of the brand, you might really have something.
Look, I know I ain't exactly the profile of a business partner, but I know medicine, and I know the potential of grafts more than anyone. You'll not find my experience anywhere.
Perhaps so, but unfortunately I can't be expected to simply take your word for it. You know how it is. Low-level workers have a certain flair for lying and grifting, whilst concurrently exaggerating all accomplishments and ills.
But we can trust your word as her current supervisor. What sort of performance review might you give this associate?
Well, it's easy to go on soldiering when you trust the one giving the orders.
That's a reasonable endorsement. Wouldn't fit in the one-line write-in space for her quarterly appraisal, but I suppose you couldn't know.
Enough of the details. I say we have ourselves a deal. Why wait when your investment is ready to be rewarded?
Indeed. I'll send over the funds immediately so we can get started. Well done. I so look forward to doing business together.
So that's it. We're clear to restart the grafting program. And you'll abide by my demands. No more senseless killing. No more hurting folk?
Of course not. Unless said folk agree to it. Yes, we are at an agreement. Consider this a bonus for your efforts. When the time is right, I will reach out to you for further planning. You have been instrumental, soldier. Inez, well done indeed. Afraid not. Farewell.
Always remember